Hi everyone, it's Janet Wakeland with remarkablycreated.com. In today's video, we're going to take a look at multi-layer embossing. This past Sunday night, I did a Facebook Live video, and it's the first of a two-part series looking at all kinds of fun techniques for embossing, and this was definitely one of those techniques. What you're going to be doing is layering several pieces together of cardstock, all cut from the same die, to give you this very deep, kind of dimensional looking piece of embossed metal. So it's a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and let's create my day 6 Valentine together. So first and foremost, we need some basic supplies if we're going to be embossing. I have Embossing Buddy. This is an anti-static tool. Coffee filter. I have a little sponge. I have Versamark ink. This is a wet ink to grab the powder. In this case, I'm going to be working with copper powder, so I have copper powder. I also have our heat tool, so we're going to need that to work with. And then the project and what we're going to be doing. Oh, and then I just have a little piece of foil here over a piece of chipboard just to kind of act as a reflective surface to get a little extra heat. Let me move some of this stuff out of the way because we're going to have lots and lots of stuff here in front of us in just a minute. And then for our project, what we're going to be doing is I have this really fun box of Ghirardelli chocolate sweethearts, and we're going to be creating a belly band for it. I'm going to leave this one in place because I want, people to make sure that they know the ingredients and things like that, so I don't want to destroy that. So I have a piece of our Painted with Love paper that I've cut, and a second piece because one 12-inch piece isn't enough. I've already started with a banner, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I've die cut 3 hearts from one of my favorite sets of dies, and this is the Sunshine Wishes, and this is the heart that we're working with. And I love this because of the words. It has love, hope, it has congrats, it has sunshine, has the sweet little butterfly, the heart, and then that beautiful flower. So that's where that heart came from. It's from that set. The banner itself was also cut from a set of framelits, and I'm flipping these over. I realize that they're the wrong side. They stick better to the magnetic sheet when that raised cutting edge is the other way. When you have the flatter surface, you have more surface area to actually grab those magnetic sheets. So that's where the framelit came from. And that coordinates with the stamp that we're going to be using the greeting for the banners for you. We're going to be stamping the I love you out of that in a few seconds. So, and then one last thing to show you. I did die cut 2 tags, and those tags are from the Celebration Thinlits. Not Celebration that's going on right now, but most specifically this frame right here. I use that to create 2 pieces because we're going to create a fun tag with them. So, let's go ahead and let's put all of our stuff aside and let's kind of get some of our things ready to go. We'll set all of this. Let's first put our belly band together. And there was no exact science to this. I could simply have, I could have gotten my ruler out and measured everything, but instead, I just took that 12-inch piece of cardstock and approximately centered it. And then I just used my fingers to crease this edge and then do the same thing. And then I'm going to pull it around. And I don't want to put any tape or anything because I want it to slide off. It's a belly band that's meant to slide off the box. It's going to hold the lid and everything. So we have that. And then, again, it's not high science, okay? I'm not doing anything with lots of crazy measurements and all of that. I'm just simply going to fold that and capture that piece. I'm going to just put good adhesive. You could actually use tear and tape too as well if you're worried that it's going to pop and not come off. So there we have our belly band, and it could slide off. So we can set that aside for a few minutes while we go ahead and get the rest of our elements together. But I loved how that coordinated with the pink of that box. So let's set that aside while we work on some of our elements here. So, do I have a smaller block handy? Yes, I do. Okay. Let me grab that smaller block, and let's grab our greetings. And the one that we're looking for is the one that says, I love you. So let me find that one here for just a second. Right. And we're going to go ahead and put that on there. and I want to curve it just a little bit so that it kind of, it's one of the nice things about the photopolymer is that you can curve it, because I want it to take on just a little bit of the shape of this piece right here. Because I'm working with, and I don't have it in front of me, so hopefully it works. It's a smaller stamp, it should. Normally when I work with photopolymer stamps, I like to have the paper piercing mat. I find that you get a better connection of the ink to the paper with that paper. But this is a smaller stamp. We should be okay. So let's go ahead and ink that up. And we're going to set that down inside. I used Fresh Fig. It's one of the colors that I'm able to pull out of that paper. And let's go ahead and put a little bit of things. And you'll notice I didn't use the embossing buddy. This is a really small piece, and I didn't anticipate having any extra powder around or anything like that. But normally you would take your embossing powder buddy and you would rub it across any of your surfaces to prevent any kind of wayward embossing powders in places that you didn't want them. So I have this piece here. I'm going to lay it down, and I'm going to take that brush, and I'm going to use the opposite end for just a second. And it will get a little loud for a minute as we turn on the heat tool. Stampin' Up's heat tool has two settings, a high setting and a low setting. And for embossing, I use the high setting. Your lower setting you might use for shrink plastic, or I like using it if I'm trying to dry ribbon and stuff like that. If anything that I don't want to curl up, then I would use that. For embossing, I always start on one end and just move the heat tool along. I don't sit here and wave it around like that. I find that that takes longer than I need to. It also heats up everything around what I'm trying to emboss. So I chase the change. I just kind of walk this along as everything is changing. And I don't know if you can see that out there, but it's just that copper greeting. I love you. So we're going to set that aside. We've got our tag here. We can set that aside. So now what we want to work with is we want to work with our 3 parts. And I'm going to bring in our silicone mat here for just a second. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and adhere all of these together. You can use liquid glue. You can use any kind of adhesive that you want to adhere them together. But you just want to line them up and get them all stacked and adhered. And that little adhesive webbing, I'll talk to you about that in just a second after we get them all adhered. So let's just go ahead and get them all put together here. This is the most challenging part of this, depending on how detailed your stamp is. And what we're doing is we're just making it really thick. I chose to use 3 pieces of our thick, ultra smooth white cardstock. You could choose to do 4 or 5 layers. Again, it all depends on how thick you want this piece to be. Those little pieces of adhesive webbing, you may end up with them if you're using the adhesive sheets, different things like that. I'm just going to take my paper piercing tool and come in here and use that to clean it out and grab them. I don't want any of those in the openings because it will grab the adhesive, and I don't want, or not the adhesive, the embossing powder. And I don't want that. I just want embossing powder on the cardstock. I don't want any in there. So, and then you can take your fingers and you can just go ahead and clean that off. If it's getting really sticky, you can always take a piece of paper towel and a little bit of Goo Gone and wipe it right off, or just take a little alcohol wipe and clean them that way. So I have that, and we can take and put our mat aside. So now let me bring this back in here and let me grab a sponge. Sorry about that. Let me reach across, you guys. Let me grab a sponge. And we're going to bring this ink pad back in. And I'm just simply going to use that sponge to kind of keep my fingers clean. And I'm just pressing that cardstock really good into the Versamark pad. You want to make sure that you're always working with a nice wet pad. So it's always a good idea to buy refills anytime you purchase a new pad. That way you always have them on hand when you need them. So I'm going to lay that down inside the powder. And yes, there might be some powder that gets onto the back side of this. That's not going to be an issue because nobody's going to see the back side. The only issue that might present is it might present an issue if, depending on the type of adhesive, it may change what type of adhesive you're going to work with. So I have my first layer there, and I'm going to use my paper piercing tool because I want to just hold on to a small little spot in case this blows away. So let's start to heat this. And again, it'll get a little loud for just a second, and I apologize if anybody's sensitive to loud noises. You might want to turn your volume down for just a second. And it's not going anywhere, so that's great. I'm going to bring my powder back in, and while it's still hot, I'm going to dump it right back in that powder and put layers of powder on it, a whole nother layer. We'll pick it up, shake off any excess, and we'll bring it in, oops, see, and get it to start heating. And I'm going to do that one more time for a total of 3 times. Again, you're going to do that to the desired effect that you're trying. It's kind of an aesthetic thing. You know, what do you want it to look like? And one more time while it's still hot, we'll put some more of that powder on. And let's bring it out, give it a good shake, lay it down, and heat it one more time. Okay, let's turn that off. And we'll remove our silver so that you can see that. So now we've got this very detailed piece. Now I went ahead and kept sticking this back in here while it was still hot. And that's just because I wanted to get it done quicker. You also can simply let it cool between every layer and then put embossing powder on that. Depends on how much time you have. I'm kind of more of a get it done kind of person. So that's something that I would do. I have our fine tip glue, and in some of the thicker areas, I'm going to come in here and put some of this glue, and now it's not coming out, is it? I just used it a second ago. Let's see if I can, in front of all of you, thread this. This is the biggest challenge with this fine tip glue is, there we go, let's see if we can clean that back off, see if I can get some out now. Oh, too much, too much. I didn't need that much. Grab a piece of paper towel and blot some of that off real fast because I definitely don't need that much. Okay. I usually am like a kid in kindergarten when it comes to the liquid glues. I'm usually much happier with glue dots and things like that. But because I did end up with adhesive or embossing on the back, I want to make sure that this sticks. So, okay, let's flip that over. We'll put our pretty heart on there. We'll just let's grab our block that we used for our stamping and our greeting for just a second. And while that's happening, let's grab some dimensionals. And 1, 2, 3 dimensionals. And I think somewhere between the big shot in here, I lost one of my tags. I had a plan. And we're going to just put the I love you on there. And again, I've chosen to pull the fresh fig out of this paper, and then this reminds me a lot of the apricot, and I love, or the peekaboo peach, it's not apricot, excuse me. And I love how copper looks with that color combination. To me, that's absolutely a beautiful color combination. And so before I actually put this together, let me just double check here for just a second if I buried that tag, guys. Hang on just a second, because then I'm not going to totally put it together. I will show you the ribbon that I'm going to be using because I want that second thing. I have a second tag, and that's where the message is going to be. This one just can kind of slide up, and then that tag will be there. It's the exact same size tag, but it can just slide to kind of show off the actual message inside so that they can see that. So I have 2 different ribbons here. I have our fresh fig, and I have our peekaboo peach. I love that Stampin' Up's product line coordinates so well together. And so we're going to be able to put that pretty piece of ribbon there. And then we're going to be able to... And again, I would thread this through the second piece. And you'll see that in the final project over on my thing. But I can tie that on. Now there's one more fun little element that I want to add to this. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this because I know... it's So I've got these little pieces, and I'll show you one more fun thing that I showed them on Sunday night during the Facebook Live, because I want to add another little just kind of extra element to that. So let's bring our Versamark pad back in, and our little tool here. And what I have is I have some of our clear faceted gems. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn them over so that the pretty side is down facing the Versamark pad. And I'm going to press real hard, because what happens is I want that Versamark to not just be on the top. I want it to surround those dots. I find it easier just to do a few of them, like I'm doing this strip here at a time. So I just want to make sure that I really got that embossing powder in there. And then let's bring it over, and let's just really cover those, coat them up really, really good. And then we can go ahead and heat these. So we would heat them up, and then what you end up with are these really fun embellishments like this. And basically anything that you can mush or smush, whichever word you want to use, into a Versamark pad, you can then add powder to it. So our enamel shapes, our metal clips, any kind of button, so anything like that, as long as you can get it, into the pad, then you're able to add powder to it in all those different colors. So then we're able to go ahead and add a few extra little just fun embellishments to this project. And on this one here, I'll bring this one back in for just a second. I used one of those things, the faceted gems in copper, to secure the copper bow. So we had copper, copper, copper. I just kind of wanted to keep it that simple. I didn't want a whole lot of other colors, and obviously I didn't want gold or silver because they really didn't tie into the look. So just another little fun option for you. So make sure you use any of the links in the YouTube description below to come see the projects up close, to see any of the information for ordering, also to find out about next week's part 2 Facebook Live, when we're going to do a whole bunch more embossing techniques. Also, I am giving away a fun prize a day until Valentine's Day as part of my 14 Days of Love. So come check out all of the other Valentine's idea guys, and then check back to see this one all tied up and finished and ready to go. Thanks!